Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Callum.
I'm Sam.
Today we're on the Talisker Port Ruighe.
Alright, so we've got another Talisker here, one of our favourite distilleries. We don't know how to pronounce it. Port Ruighe.
We googled
it
said
Ruighe,
but
but Port,
doesn't look right.
it's Ruighe.
Ruighe.
And saying Port Ruighe sounds a little bit weird, but whatever. Talisker, an island distillery, a Scotch. This is basically Diageo's been kind of doing a little bit extra stuff lately. They've got the 57 North travel exclusives and stuff like
I
that.
want to try that.
This
so
is
bad.
we've tried it. We just want
I
the
want to
bottle,
buy it,
and
yeah.
it's impossible to find. And probably will be, but for the forever probably. But anyway, this one's I think in the same boat, so we should count ourselves lucky that we've actually got it.
Yeah.
It is the typical Talisker 45.8. They do like all of their stuff that proof except for the 57 North, which is like a cask strength.
Yeah.
But island distillery, so you're gonna get salt, you're gonna get brine, a bit of peat.
Yep.
But this one specifically, it's done with some like refill European casks, some heavily charred ex-bourbon casks, and then it goes into a variation of port casks. So port finished island whiskey, something that we typically enjoy. I don't know. It sounds like there's someone above us, and it's in my room, so there really shouldn't be. But whatever. We'll get into the notes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
It's dark, rich. Dark fruits. It's like plums, bit of raisin.
With that sea spray. Like
Sea
up
spray.
front, I just get sea spray. And that
Sticky
malty
dates.
sea spray. It's like salted sticky dates. Damn, it's like if you have sticky date pudding, one of my favorites. Such an old man kind of like dessert, but I love it. It's so good. But if you like sprinkle some like flaky salt on top of that, that's basically what this kind of smells like. Yeah, super sea spray kind of raisins. Do you get the Scotch malt, but it's pretty light. It's not like that super funkified
it's
kind
not
of
overpowering.
Scotch Highland Speyside kind of impact.
Getting sea salt as well. Like that really.
I'm just getting like sea spray, like you're having a sticky date pudding, but like the waves are crashing and just like knocking into you. You kind of like a tartness as well, like a fruity, like a raspberry maybe.
There is some, yeah.
And then now I'm getting that warm, caramelized, like creme brulee kind of like sugary sweetness, like a warm creaminess to it as well.
Yeah. The port casks definitely make a difference.
Yeah.
The normal Talisker does not. Obviously, those core Taliskers, the sea brine, sea salt.
It smells like.
But the rich dark fruits, you would never really find in the Talisker.
You find them, but not to this degree.
Extent,
and
yeah.
I want to say that this kind of has a similar nose to the regular Talisker, apart from that like rich fruitiness. But we'll take. We'd probably do somewhere. I kind of want to compare it to the Distiller's Edition or whatever, because that's using a Rosso sherry, so it's like it should be in the same realm of similarity.
I'm gonna try this. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's good.
The core Talisker notes. That sweetness actually kind of takes a backseat a little bit.
Definitely.
But it's still there. You can still.
It's the fruitiness is there, but the sweetness of it kind of chills out, which is nice. It's kind of like it tends more towards the Talisker, the regular Talisker kind of like flavor profile.
It all kind of dies though, a little bit, just ever so slightly. The
Becomes
sea salt,
more
the
dry.
sea brine. It's just it's dry.
The port impact is more subtle now. It tastes like regular Talisker, but with a bit more complexity, a bit more fruit.
I'm also getting like
it's not leagues on a sideway kick from the regular Talisker.
I'm getting like a raspberry now. Not the tartness, more like the actual raspberry.
If you like back up, and you know how you do the whole like rubbing on your fingers, I'm actually going to do that. I was getting a lot more peat when I did that. Whoa, what the? Getting like funky wood. Oh, grass as well. Wooden grass.
It smells like pizza dough.
It's like some yeast. I don't know if that's a recommendation I'd make to do that, but If you back up, it smells more Lafroig, like kind of getting
It does,
briny
yeah.
peat.
It smells like the Lafroig PX.
I don't know if it's that sweet though. Like the PX has way more sherry impact.
Yeah.
This is pretty light on the sherry impact.
There's still like an extreme sweetness, like dark fruit sweetness.
For me, that's gone. I'm getting fruity, an extra fruity kick compared to like the base level Talisker, but the actual like core notes are still there, and I'm not. The sweetness that I got from the nose initially is not. It's like pretty much gone for me.
I'm getting on the palate. I'm getting more like raspberry, maybe a bit of
dry.
strawberry on the palate.
It's more dry. It's like actually quite dry for me on the palate now. Yeah, so we'll pour a bit of, what is it, Distiller's Edition or something?
Yeah, the Distiller's Edition, yeah.
Yeah, which is a Rosso, not Oloroso. It's a Rosso sherry finish.
45.8% again.
Yeah, same proof. When reaching for that, I just triggered something I wanted to mention while recording, because I want to ask you guys. We've got, what is it called?
It's a 1975 Jim Beam. It's from, I think it's commemorating the Vietnam War.
Yeah. And it's like all sealed completely.
It's a
super cool bottle.
It's 100 months
old.
And we can't find it anywhere on the internet.
We have found pricing for the empty decanter in good condition, but we have literally not been able to find a single price of anything that's unsealed. And we want to know if anyone in America or whatever, if you guys have a better kind of access to it or whatever. Anyway, but if you have any clue on value or anything for it, we're not going to open it. It's going to be the same deal as the 1980 Strathyla. It's going to be a collector's kind of thing. But we still would like to know what it's worth. So if you guys have any clue of what it's worth, then let us know.
It's literally been sitting on my dad's like
shelf for like 20, 30 years.
40, 50 years, whatever it is. 45 years, whatever it is.
Dad's like...
Doesn't drink it, obviously.
Yeah, but yeah, we want to know how much it is, because we're not going to open it, as I said, but it would still be cool to know how much it's worth. But getting back to this one, Distiller's Edition.
The Distiller seems more rounded to me.
It smells fruitier. It smells more raspberry.
Distiller is more briny, more fruity.
It smells more malty. The Distiller's Edition smells brighter and fruitier.
And it's more dark, rich fruit for me.
See, on the nose though, I'm getting like strawberry, raspberry. I'm getting way more fruit on the Distillers.
I mean, they are pretty similar, but they are
Sweeter.
different when you actually taste them side by side.
Sweeter and peatier, I guess.
Yeah, I'd definitely say peatier, or more briny was probably the better word.
Oh, now this seems sweeter. What the hell? That seems more bright fruits and a bit peatier. This seems a bit more dark and sweet and kind of like more typical maltiness from a Scotch.
Yeah.
That seems more like unique, I guess.
These are port barrels, aren't they? So these would have been used for port, whereas these are
Oloroso, yeah.
Were they new? Do we know? Or eggs?
Can't remember.
Matured in, they don't say.
This is nice and fruity, and there's definitely a sweetness that now, going back to the Distiller's Edition, is kind of more highlighted because it's not the same in this.
Do you reckon? I feel like this falls a bit flat in comparison to the Distillers. This seems to hold its own. It's sweet but peaty.
It tastes hotter. Not like hotter, but yeah, hotter. It tastes like it's a higher proof than this. Much hotter.
This remains sweet and peaty for about 30, 40 seconds. This lasts about 20 seconds and kind of dies off in my mouth.
Yeah, it's a bit, but again, it's a bit more typical Scotch rounded malty sweetness, whereas that is a lot more uniquely bright.
When you compare, I definitely agree with that malt. There's definitely more,
especially on the nose coming back to it now. Like it smells like a peated Highland malt now.
I still prefer the Talisker.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I like this a lot. It's damn good.
It's nice, but for me, it's a bit. I don't know.
It's not unique enough to warrant how much.
$115 I paid.
Yeah, no, it's not that bad.
But I mean, when you pay an extra $35 for this,
that's
definitely reach for this.
This is that one. The Distiller's Edition is more unique. This is definitely a little bit of a deviation from the initial regular Talisker 10, but it's definitely not enough, or not. It depends on the person, but it's less of a deviation than the Talisker, the Talisker Distilled Edition.
I think we should word it like this. Compared to the Talisker 10, this is very interesting, very nice, good change up, and probably worth the price.
Yeah.
But when you have the Distiller's Edition, this just hits all of the Port Ruighe notes. It hits all of their notes, but just better and more refined, and it continues the brine
and more intensely as well.
Yeah.
Like it's more whatever is the port finish, whatever unique kind of things they've done to it is way more obvious in that one.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is still good and it's still interesting and more unique compared to the Talisker 10, especially on the palate. But if I'm gonna choose just blind tasting, which we can't really do now to prove my point, but I would assume it's going to be this one. This one tastes more unique. It tastes brighter, more challenging, but also more complex. Alright, yeah, so let us know your opinions on the Port Ruighe, whatever, and let us know how you're actually meant to pronounce it, and a comparison between this one as well. If it's a preference or if it's going to be the cheaper option. But either way, let us know what your favourite Talisker is. And if you enjoyed this episode, leave us a like and see future episodes from us. Maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. If you do, we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.